key point. Long-term care isn't about an older person just sitting alone in a nursing home. It's a range of services designed to help people with health and personal care needs. The National Institute of Aging defines long-term care as a variety of services designed to meet a person's health and personal care needs so they can live as independently and safely as possible. These everyday activities are often referred to as the 6 basic activities of daily living, or ADLs, and they include bathing, the ability to clean oneself and performing grooming activities like shaving or brushing your teeth, dressing, the ability to get dressed by oneself without struggling with zippers or buttons, eating, the ability to feed oneself, transferring, being able to walk or move oneself from a bed to a wheelchair and back again, toileting, the ability to get on and off the toilet, continence, the ability to control one's bladder and bowel functions. Additionally, care could be entirely hands-on, where the care recipient depends on the caregiver, or as simple as standby care to provide some assistance. Who will need long-term care? There's a widely held belief that long-term care planning isn't necessary because it's too far off and likely won't be needed. Remember our questions from the long-term care knowledge quiz? Question A asks the percentage of Americans over 65 who will need long-term care. Question B asks the percentage of Americans who think it's very likely that they will need long-term care at some point in their lives. Only 8% think that they'll need long-term care, but that's wildly off the mark. As of 2021, someone turning 65 has almost a 70% chance of needing some kind of long-term care service or support in their remaining years. Of that 70%, 10 to 15% need care for at least 3 years. Additionally, the number of people with Alzheimer's dementia is rapidly increasing. Between 20 and 2030, the total number of people living with Alzheimer's is projected to increase by 35%, and the projected number of new Alzheimer's cases is expected to increase by 10% between 2010 and 2050. Long-term care is provided in many settings, including at-home, community-based, and other live-in options, from independent living to assisted living, with add-on care to full-time nursing care. As is often the case with Alzheimer's and other degenerative diseases, full-time skilled nursing care may follow a much longer period of long-term care provided in other settings. While being cared for at home in declining years is one of the most common ways long-term care is provided, relying on extended family and friends is no longer the only option. Relying on loved ones for your long-term care needs is fraught with both financial and emotional challenges. Fortunately, one can receive many services at home, provided these services can accommodate various levels of need. They include part-time and full-time home health aides, who attend to daily living needs and household chores, and visiting nurses and doctors who can provide medical care. Other support services like Meals on Wheels, necessary medical equipment that can be used at home, and case managers to help monitor the needs of the person receiving home-based care. While care in one's home is sometimes called community-based care, programs outside one's home can supplement the care received. Depending upon the state, these adult daycare centers may be licensed or not, depending upon their services. Some may provide just social activities and interactions, while others may provide health services. In addition, they can provide respite care to an in-home caregiver, whether it's a loved one or a hired professional. As the name indicates, those living in independent living settings can primarily live independently. This term often refers to housing units connected to a continuing care retirement community. There are options to step up to more robust care like assisted living, which we'll discuss next. Often, seniors can stay within independent living in a CCRC or retirement community longer than they may have stayed in their own home by adding limited support, like help with taking medications or some personal care. In retirement communities, this additional support is often called Dependent Living Plus in a RC. If the resident's needs progress, a move to assisted living may be necessary. Assisted living is an example of something in the middle. In assisted living, the resident may need help with daily medications, dressing, and grooming, but can still perform some activities independently. Assisted living communities provide personalized care in a residential setting. They usually allow residents to bring their own furniture and provide social opportunities to become a part of a community. While those in assisted living settings need more care than those in independent living, they do not need the full-time skilled nursing care provided in a nursing home. Additionally, assisted living communities often offer their residents options for meals, laundry, housekeeping, and even transportation. As one might imagine, the cost for this kind of care can be significant. Medical costs in general keep rising, especially for retirees as their health care needs increase. In 2020, the average 65-year-old couple would need about $300 in today's dollars for medical expenses in retirement, excluding long-term care costs. For individuals, the number is $157 at $57,000 for women and $143,000 for men. This is up 30% from 10 years ago. Medical costs keep rising, especially for retirees. In 2021, the average 65-year-old couple would need approximately $300 in today's dollars for medical expenses in retirement, excluding long-term care. For individuals, the number is $150,000 for women and $143,000 for men. That's up 30% from just 10 years ago. Of course, as those are median national numbers, there are many places where the costs are far higher. For example, in New York City, the median monthly cost for assisted living is about $5,900 a month. A private room in a skilled nursing facility costs almost $13,000 a month. So half the options in the New York area cost even more than this. Like other healthcare costs, long-term care costs continue to rise faster than the general rise in the cost of living.